knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie, white in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro, I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I will slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black as the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. It's Thursday already. It is Thursday. Imagine that. Thursday already. In the second hour today is emails and Facebook comments. In the second hour, at the top of the hour there, your emails and Facebook comment. By the way, my email address is radio@bondaction.org. radio@bondaction.org. All right? radio@bondaction.org. Put your name and town, your emails. In the top of the third hour, we have a woman on, Kay Painter, and just an amazing story about what she went through as a result of having an abortion. Just absolutely an amazing testimony, and you got to hear that. I want you to hear it, and she'll be coming up in the third hour today. Her book is From Sin and Sorrow to Service. From Sin and Sorrow to Service. We're going to tell you how to get the book today. Our battle, folks, is a battle between good and evil, right versus wrong, good versus evil, right versus wrong. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with male or female. It has everything to do with what is right. And right now we have three major scandals that has broken with this administration, Barack Obama administration, the Benghazi, the IRS, and the AP. And, and I think we got more to come. You haven't seen anything yet. I have back with me Congressman Doug Collins, a Republican congressman out of Georgia's 9th Congressional District. And he serves on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. And and just another side note about him, which is not a small deal. He served as a captain in the U.S. Air Force Reserve as well, so he knows what he's doing. Congressman Collins, welcome back to the show, sir.
Yes, it's always great to be with you.
Thank you very much. I want to know, were you pleased with the Benghazi hearing last week?
The hearing brought out, I think, there's a two-step look at that, Jesse. I'm looking at it from a perspective of, yes, I was pleased with the sense that we finally started getting some folks who were on the ground, who were giving us straight answers, who were talking about their frustrations, and really what I believe is what they showed was a lack of concern, really, that was coming out of Washington and other departments that night. So I was pleased from that perspective, but I was also just very concerned with the answers and the questions that we still have that we don't have answers to. So I think it was a twofold. I think it's put us in line now to continue this investigation, and that's exactly what Congress should be doing. And always, never forget, Democrats can say whatever they want to say, but this is not about politics. This is about four dead Americans.
That's right. That's right. Where will the investigation go from here?
We'll be having another hearing, I believe, in the next couple of weeks. I know they're working on that. They're still getting information. We're still trying to sift through the stuff that the State Department and others have provided, and also just trying to see at this point what they're willing to release, what they're not willing to release, much of which is unclassified. There's no reason they shouldn't be releasing it. And the other thing with Benghazi is sort of like one of those things that, I mean, I'm a parent as well, and it's about like when my kids were younger, they would tell you one part of the story, and then, well, you ask them, they'll tell you another little bit. This is what we're getting right now. We're just getting this story parsed out in pieces by an administration that's sort of wanting to shrink it out. I've explained it this way. I believe this administration at times lives like in a Wizard of Oz kind of world. They believe they can click their heels 3 times and just make things go away. And that's just not going to happen here.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. I noticed that the liberal media is somewhat picking up on this story now. Conservative media were there, especially Fox News, was there from the beginning. What is causing the liberal media to change somewhat at this point concerning this story?
Well, I think it's a combination here. I don't think it's just the Benghazi story. I think actually, if you want to be honest with you, that's the AP story.
Yeah.
The AP story is all of a sudden, they said, wait, hang on a second. We've been very good to this administration. I use those terms very liberally, but in a sense, and all of a sudden, you're looking at a broad investigation that was way out of to me, scope of what you could be looking for with the amount of taps and others that were going on. So I think, to be honest, I think that was sort of the tipping point, especially some of the media outlets who are now saying, well, now we've got AP, now we've had Benghazi, we've got this IRS scandal, which is a total train wreck. Not only is Obamacare a train wreck, the IRS deal is a train wreck. And now they're starting to say, wait, this isn't good.
There was some, the White House released some emails on yesterday. Does it contradict what the White House has said previously about the Benghazi situation?
I think it just goes on more of what we're getting out there and what the committees had to already dig. These are selected, emails. There's a many more out there that they just went through and showed some of which were not, they, in all fairness, they did not look favorable on the administration. They showed the contradictions that were coming concerning talking points and other things. So I think they understand that they're going to have to be a little more forthcoming. They're going to have to start, trying to answer these questions because the American people, frankly, are just tired. They're tired of the obfuscating. They're tired of the moving around. So I think this is just a way to what they're hoping to appease those as they try to figure out what their damage control is going to be.
I want to, you mentioned the IRS scandal. Did this come out now in an effort to kind of take us away from the Benghazi situation? I don't trust this administration at all, and I know that they would do whatever it takes to cover up. Is this possibly the reason that this IRS scandal came out at this time?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's an interesting proposition. I mean, to say, it's almost like we've got all these, different little, not little problems, but big problems that are coming up. I think the problem that they're wanting, if they're trying to get away from Benghazi, I'm going to go back to it again and again and again. This is not about politics of the past. This is about 4 dead Americans. And we have people in the world today who are serving in places like Yemen and other places that are very dangerous. And we've got to make sure that they understand that while they're doing their diplomatic work, America has their back. And I think what's happening now is what's concerning about the IRS scandal is how long they've known about it. And it finally took the IG report to actually bring this out. And I think there's going to be a lot of fallout. And, I'm sorry, an interim director who was leaving anyway, that's not much of a payback.
That's right. I thought it was funny that Obama's acting as though he's forcing this guy to leave, and he was going to leave anyway.
He's leaving anyway, and actually he's going to stay on his job till he leaves. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but, when I've had to actually fire people, and I've been on the end of where I got let go, they didn't say, oh, by the way, stay around for another 2 or 3 months. Then if you want to, then we'll let you go. I mean, come on. This doesn't pass the smell test.
My final question for you, Congressman, I appreciate your time, and I absolutely appreciate you being there, sir. I'm glad you're there, and I know that there are other Tea Party congressmen who are really out there fighting as well. Boehner said that he wants jail time. I don't have the quote exactly, that somebody needs to go to jail. Do you agree with that?
I hadn't seen the quote, Jesse. Was it concerning IRS?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if some of what is coming out is true, I believe there's been laws violated, and as the law's been violated, people need to pay the consequences for the actions that they made.
Is this going to hurt Hillary Clinton's chance of becoming the next president of this country?
Well, from my political persuasion, anything that would be good to me. But
I know, I agree.
I think but in an honest perspective, I think it is going to be interesting because she did play such a prominent role here. in this, and I think there's going to be more questions that are going to come out, and I think there may even be at some point in time, I'm not sure, but there may be more testimony from her from on the Hill. So it's going to be interesting to see. But again, what I don't want to do in this situation is take the attention off the fact, and we've always got to go back to it. We've got to take the attention back to the 4 dead Americans, and why we're doing this is looking at our response, looking at what happened, and looking at who was accountable on that night so that this never happens again. And one thing I'll agree with the Attorney General from yesterday, he said we're going to investigate it and let the chips fall where they may. Well, that's the same thing I feel about with Benghazi and these other issues. Amen.
Congressman Doug Collins, thank you so much, sir. If we can be of any help to you, let me know.
Well, I appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you again.
All right, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay. 888-775-3773. Back in a moment.
I'm a soldier of